Hi everybody, welcome to the Bold Hairspring. My name is Ivan, and in today's video I'll be showing you one of the coolest Rolex homage watches I've ever seen, from a brand called OceanX. This model in particular is part of their vintage-inspired lineup, Sharkmaster-V, and as you can see, it looks absolutely beautiful. OceanX is just another Asian brand that specializes in manufacturing affordable quality Rolex homage watches. But what caught my attention is that they have retailers, and not only in Asia but also in Europe and the USA, which technically means that they are not a micro brand. Unfortunately, there isn't much information available in that respect, and besides being based in Hong Kong, you'll be hard pressed to find any other information about this brand. But if you know anything more about them, feel free to share it with us in the comment section below. I purchased this OceanX from SeriousWatches.com, who are based in the Netherlands, and I had never purchased from them before. I'm telling you this, guys, because the unboxing experience was really good. The watch is nicely packed and very well protected, so that it doesn't get damaged during the delivery. You also get a thank you note and even a waffle kind of cookie, which is a really nice touch in my opinion, as I love free sweets, and honestly, who doesn't? You also find an envelope with your receipt, and finally the watch is wrapped as a gift, which is very convenient if you're buying the watch for someone else. So yeah, thank you Serious Watches, great service, I'll probably buy from you again. Now let me explain why this OceanX Sharkmaster-V is probably the coolest Rolex homage watch I've ever seen. You see, they didn't just copy the Submariner, which is what most brands do. Instead, they borrowed design elements from at least 3 different vintage Rolex references, and none of them is the Submariner. For example, the dial resembles the Rolex Explorer 6350 from the late 50s. Then the red triangle on the bezel insert is borrowed from the Milgauss 6451. Next, the red text reminds us of the Sea-dweller double red 1665, while the snowflake handset was invented by Tudor in 1969. Personally, guys, I really like what OceanX has done here. I think the dial looks amazing, and you can definitely tell that it's vintage inspired. On the contrary, there is nothing vintage about the dimensions of the OceanX, as they are similar to the released in 2017 Sea-dweller 126600. Another modern addition to the watch is the lume, which is mind-blowing, but we'll have a look at that later. Back to the dimensions, the case diameter is 42 mm, the height is 15.3 and the lug-to-lug distance is 50 mm. But as you can see, the end links stick out a little bit. All things considered, I like very much how it wears on my 17 cm or 6.7 inch wrist. It is a hefty piece and I can definitely feel the 181 grams, but as you may already know, I like my watches to be a little bit on the bigger, heavier side, so I'm happy with both the dimensions and the weight. However, guys, the lug width is 21 mm, which I know might be not so great for those of you who like to change straps on a regular basis. For me, again, it's not a problem at all, because the oyster style bracelet this OceanX comes with is very good. It's well machined and there are no sharp edges. It's brushed with polished sides and it's put together by screws, which by the way have surprisingly long threads, and that's a good thing of course. Sizing it was also very easy. Then the clasp is milled with micro adjustment points, which are a little bit tricky to access, but better than nothing. And the clasp also carries the shark logo engraved, and yes, OceanX has copied the clasp design from Rolex, although there is neither an easy link system nor a diverse extension, but quality-wise it's a very good clasp. In fact, the overall build quality is excellent. The case and the bracelet are made of 316L stainless steel, and then you get a screw-down crown, a screw-down case back, and a sapphire crystal, which together contribute to achieving the stated water resistance of 500 meters. And talking about the sapphire crystal, just look at it, guys, it's insane, and I mean that in a good way. According to OceanX, it's 4.2 mm thick, and then the distortions and blue AR hues that you're getting out of it are just beautiful, and because of that you'll be checking the time more often than you usually do. Since this is a dive watch, we definitely need to talk about the unidirectional 120 clock bezel. As you can see, it is perfectly aligned and its action is also very good. It is a little bit stiff but not difficult to turn, and there is zero backplay. If I had to compare it to another watch, I would say that the action is similar to an Oris Aquis, which is like 5 times more expensive. Then the ceramic bezel insert on the OceanX is fully lumed. It's filled with Superluminova BGW9, while the rest of the dial has Superluminova C3 applied on it. Needless to say that it looks stunning in the dark, and as of right now, it is the watch with the best lume in my collection. The combination of green and blue is awesome in my opinion, and since it's Superluminova type of lume, you know that it will stay visible throughout the whole night. Moving on to the movement, inside this watch we can find ticking the well-known Seiko NH35 automatic movement with its 24 jewels and 42 hours of power reserve. It really needs no introduction, it's reliable, it's accurate, plus it has hacking seconds and manual winding. Mine is running a little bit fast, 10 seconds per day, which is not bad for a watch in this price range. I should also mention that it's the date version of the NH35, although this watch doesn't have a date window, so don't be surprised when you pull the crown once and see that nothing happens. Just pull it one more time and then you can set the time. And at this point you must be wondering, is there anything wrong with this watch? Personally speaking, not really. This watch has exceeded my expectations and it perfectly matches with my personal preferences. But there is one thing that may bother some people, and that is the length of the hands. I think they could have been a millimeter longer, all three of them, so that the seconds and minute hand reach the end of the hour markers. I can see that being a problem and looking weird if the sapphire crystal wasn't domed, but since it is, the distortions that it creates make the hands look well proportioned. I also understand that the dimensions of the watch won't be to everybody's taste, but besides that and the 21mm lug width, I can't think of any other negatives. And oh guys, I'm not sponsored in any way by neither OceanX nor Sirius Watches. I would like to add that I bought it from Sirius Watches eBay store and not from their website. By doing so, I was able to make an offer and get the OceanX for €340 shipped instead of the €369 list price. And talking about the price, guys, I'm sure that some people will say that for a little bit more money you can buy a Steinhardt with an ETA 2824 or a Sellita SW200, and this is true. I actually used to have an Ocean 1 ceramic 42mm. It's a great watch, but I sold it and got this one instead. I would say that both watches are on par in terms of quality, but I simply prefer the looks of the OceanX. So if for some reason you're torn between Steinhardt and OceanX, I'll just tell you that both are great choices, both offer a lot of quality for the money, and in that case you should simply go for the one whose design language speaks to you the most. So there you have it, the OceanX is a very solid choice for the money. It's not a brand you see every day in Facebook watch groups, and there aren't many videos about it on YouTube either, but it's worth checking it out. I've had the Sharkmaster-V for less than a month now, but I can definitely see it staying a lot longer. So thank you for watching my 10th video on the channel, guys. Wear your watches safely, and I'll see you in the next one.